So before you ask about the new coach, hope you're doing well, man, and give us an update. How's the Achilles?
Oh, it's doing good. I started walking in the boot without the crutches, so it's going pretty well right now.
Well, yeah, so that's great. Is that kind of on schedule where you thought you'd be? I mean, what's this thing look like for you?
Yeah, it's on schedule for sure. I haven't had any pain since the first couple of days after surgery, so it feels like it's healing pretty well.
That's good. Brent Martineau, former Jags player, Austin Lane, and James Robinson, Jaguars running back here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. All right, I don't know how much detail you can give us, but obviously you knew something popped. We kind of all knew something popped at the time. And then we saw like Cam Akers come back and play like 4 months later or 5, whatever it was. It was ridiculous. Like, we think this is a long injury. I'm not a doctor. Are there different levels of Achilles? Like, do you know when you're going to be allowed back? Is it wait and see? Is yours a longer term one than maybe a Cam Akers? Give us a little bit of your thoughts on that and what the doctors are telling you.
So I'm not really sure if some can be worse than others, I'm sure they could be, but I'm not sure what Cam Akers actually had. Maybe his was higher or something like that, but mine was low. They haven't said anything like that. I mean, they just said I'm on track to be able to come back for sure. So
now, James, do they like sew it back or do they staple it? What do they do with it exactly?
I think I think he said they went in and they stitched. I'm not stitched, but like they put something through because they just pulled them together basically, and then tied it. And I don't really know.
Hey, you were probably knocked out.
I wouldn't want to know. I ain't trying to know that. That's gnarly.
That's a tough injury right now. Jaguars running back James Robinson with us. All right, man, what's your take on all the things that have been happening around here? Since you had a lot of stuff going on in your world, and then obviously you have a coaching change, and Doug Peterson's hired. You met him a couple weeks ago. Give us your first impressions of Doug Peterson.
He seems like a cool coach. I mean, he told us he was for the players, and that's like a really big thing with me. I mean, a coach, a guy that cares about the players. I mean, the players really want to play for him, you know. So I mean, I met him I think twice so far, but it wasn't really like a sit down meet or anything. Just I saw him while I wasn't going in for treatment, and that was about it.
Austin, you played the game. What does that mean? James said players coach. I think people are like, oh, good. They're going to take it easy on him. Not going to work.
No,
right?
not at all.
And we've had this conversation before. And so I think you guys as players, as former players, know what that means maybe more than the outside world does.
I think that's the cool thing about Doug Peterson. He is a former player, right? So just in that in itself, you can relate to players a little better. To me, a player's coach is a guy who's genuine, who you can kind of trust and he can trust you back. You know, I mean, players, coaches can still yell at you. They can still chew you out and everything. But I think it's just a form of being genuine.
Is that how you view it, James?
For me, I mean, sort of. I mean, obviously, you know you're going to get yelled at sometimes, but you just got to be able to deal with that. But players, I don't think a lot of players really complain about a coach that's not as cool. I mean, they kind of like it, but, I mean, it just depends, I guess.
Yeah. Block your ears for a moment. Maybe a player's coach is one that if you get benched, they tell you got benched. Yeah. There you go. That might
Shots
be one.
fired, Brett.
Yeah. I hope he blocked his ears on
Shots
that.
fired, yeah.
By the way. Hey, have you actually looked back at and thought about, I mean, I know you got some time now. How tough was last year? Have you reflected on it at all?
Nah. I mean, for me, I was dealing with that heel injury and then Achilles happened, so I've just kind of been looking forward and trying to get back.
Yeah, so, I mean, for you, then, it was more just from a physical standpoint. You couldn't be yourself. Was that probably the most frustrating part?
Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously I want to be 100%, but when I was out there, I was feeling it, but it was just something I had to play through, and I tried to be as productive as possible.
James, you know, I'm sure you've talked to Doug Peterson a little bit here. Has he kind of give you like a little vision of how he plans to use you in this offense going forward, or is it kind of wait and see right now?
We haven't talked about anything like that, so, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, pretty early in the game probably for that. Hey, you know, we don't know Bernie Parmalee that well. I remember him as a player. But, you know, with COVID and everything, we don't get to know a lot of these guys. What's your relationship like with Parmalee? You happy he's sticking around?
Oh, yeah, I'm happy he's sticking around. I mean, obviously from the first year. Then the second year having just different coaches, you can't really get to know someone. But yeah, I'm happy that he's staying around. So yeah.
That's a good deal. What's your plan now? Like how you get off the crutches a little bit, you get going around. I mean, you really can't go full go like you would normally try to get back into the fold. So what's your mentality here for these next few months where you would normally start picking things up, whether it was from a workout regimen in the weight room? How are you going to attack this offseason and getting back into the season, even though it might be a little bit of wait and see on the injury?
Sorry, what did you say? What was the last part?
How are you going to attack this offseason, even though you might have to wait and see a little bit on when you're available?
I mean, I do what I can. When I work out, I just kind of do upper body right now, and then my good leg, I work on that a little bit. I mean, I just kind of do all the little things that wouldn't bring me trouble to the Achilles or anything. So I'm just kind of taking it slow right now.
Is it a tough rehab?
No. I mean, I'm not sure how other ones went, but mine's doing fine right now.
All right, good.
James, when you're 100% again, I want to ask you this question. When you play Fred VanVleet in a game of one-on-one pickup basketball, counting ones and twos, what is the final score of that game?
Oh.
Is this game to 11 or 21?
I used to play basketball.
10.
I mean.
Oh, I know. And he also plays basketball pretty well.
Yeah, he's very good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to play him one day, and I'll let you guys know.
Okay, cool. Are you guys from the same hometown then, or you kind of grew up by each other? Yeah, okay.
No, we're both from Rockford.
I got you.
How good a basketball player were you?
I was good until high school. I didn't like it in high school.
Same here.
Well, I would say I'm still good at basketball. I'm saying I didn't like the game as much.
I got you. So, like, I mean, you quick can't stop you. You physical like guard, or you can shoot it. Like what?
I can do it all.
Now, did you
dunk?
Did you have more scholarship offers for basketball or for football?
Oh, I didn't take basketball serious in high school.
I got you.
Yeah. Well, listen, he was on. They overlooked him coming out in football too.
I know. Hey. It's the same thing with me, Brent. I know. I didn't take basketball seriously either. I just happen to be pretty good at it.
Yeah, I didn't have the same problem as you guys. But can you throw it down, like dunk it, and have some fun with it?
Yeah, I could dunk in high school.
Pretty good, like dunk contest kind of guy.
No, not like that.
Okay. Are you? How about NBA wise? Are you an NBA fan?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Favorite guy? Like, because Austin went to Murray State, so he's a Ja Morant guy.
Well, and I'm also a Giannis guy, being from Wisconsin.
Well, that's true. He's a Bucks fan.
Mine is LeBron.
All right. LeBron. That's all right. I like that. So is it LeBron's fault or the Lakers' fault right now? Or is it LeBron's fault because he runs the Lakers?
I don't know.
Hey, how much conversation will you have with some of the players over this offseason? You guys just get away from each other, or will you guys stay in touch, like Trevor, and especially as you try to work through this new playbook of Doug Peterson's, because that's always one of the biggest challenges, right? I mean, for you're going to go 3 years in, 3 different playbooks.
I mean, we all get together most of the time. I mean, a lot of guys take trips. Some stay a little bit. So, I mean, the guys that's here, I think we all kind of text each other and see what's going on about stuff. So
Austin was a defensive end, so he didn't really have to like learn plays, but everybody else like talks about the playbook and the terminology. So now that you will go through this for like the third time, is it as hard as people say? Is it just take a little time? Like, what's your view on that from the running back position?
I mean, some of the plays are basically the same, just different terms, like you said. Some of them mean the same thing, but they just call it something different. So it's just you got to try to get the stuff out of your head from last year, try to like put the new stuff in. So it's sometimes I did it last year. I could just remember the old plays from my rookie year, being the same as the plays from this past year.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys got to flush it, basically, the actual terms, and start over. Makes sense.
Hey, James, I saw that Murray State's going to join the Missouri Valley Conference with Illinois State. How nervous are the Redbirds right now in terms of their football program?
I don't really know. I mean, I haven't really
That's why
been watching it like that.
I got you.
he stays in Jacksonville now, so he doesn't have to go back and deal with the Murray State.
I don't want to deal with that program either, the Illinois State. They had the worst fans ever played in front of. They were mean, man.
I didn't know they had a football team.
That's a good point.
Hey, all right, put a bow on this conversation. Appreciate you joining us, man. Good to catch up. What's your expectation? Do you think you're going to be back mid-season? Do you have that in your head?
For me?
Yeah, early in the season. Like, do you have any idea when you could make it back off an Achilles, considering the timing of your injury?
I can. I'll be good before the season.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're kind of taking the approach to like Cam Akers did. So, I mean, the trainers talk back and forth. So, I'm sure I'll be back.
All right, I buried the lead, James. I thought for sure it might be a little bit longer, but
they're doing crazy things these days.
They
with
really
Achilles.
are. So it is a little bit more Akers-like. That's awesome to hear. I think people will be really happy to hear that. And hey, I hope rehab goes well. Hopefully, we'll catch up with you from time to time and see how it's going. But thanks for jumping in for a few minutes.
Yep, thank you.
You bet. That's James Robinson, Jaguars running back, and